Greetings and welcome to When the Moment Chooses You. I am your host, Coach Charlene, and today I am going to do a solo podcast episode. I am very, very excited. I wanted to do this one. This is like totally impromptu. I did not prepare at all, but I wanted to come because I really haven't fully came on as a solo episode post retirement. So, this is my thoughts so far about early retirement. Now, I retired in July. July 5th was my last day at work, and it was glorious. I had an amazing journey, but boy, did I have a lot of lessons learned and a lot of growth, a lot of defining my purpose and my assignment at the same time. So it has been a really wonderful journey. Um, I'm just going to go back a little bit because I am a type of person that is always looking to birth something. Now, that is like just a gift. I've never not wanted to create or birth something. It's just that I was not doing it as much because I didn't have the time to allow myself to just flow and go flow freely. But what I really want to talk about is this. Before I retired, I had I have a lot of books in my computer just waiting for me to get them out. But I had been working on my projects. I host a lot of events outside of work because I love empowering people, inspiring people, helping women find their voice and release it to their audience. So I just love people and love helping humanity be better because I strive to be a better person every day. I try to love harder than I did yesterday. I try to forgive quicker than I did yesterday. Just really encapsulating that highest expression of yourself. And so I was so excited to get ready to finally retire. I had been talking about retirement like literally for a long time. I mean, some people that are close to me know that my heart has been stirring for such a long time. I had a co-manager, Teresa, and she knows that me and her talked about dreaming and, just like birthing something so many years ago, 2016-ish. So I was talking about it a lot, a lot. But when you really think about taking a risk, stepping out and doing something that you've never done, leaving the confinements of your comfort zone and jumping into the unknown. Most people are not going to do that. I was teaching this youth leadership program before. It's called Boss the Movement by Coach Al Hollingsworth, which is one of my phenomenal mentors. And in that course, we teach the kids of how to birth a dream and how to tap into their greatness so that they won't get confined in the trajectory, or I should say, the traditional pathways, if they feel that there's an urge to do something else. But it gives you more courage so that you can step into it, maybe with your knees knocking, but still step into it or do something that you haven't done before. Because I know for me personally, I grew up, kind of like um, in kind of like a fear-based thing. You need to get a job, pay your bills, and then you die. I mean, that totally does not sound that phenomenal, but that's not what my portion is going to be. I am going to tap into my purpose, which is the original reason for my existence. See, there was a reason that I was sent here on the earth realm. There's a reason that you are sent here on the earth world, but maybe it's to be the best mother ever. Maybe it's to be the best doctor ever. Maybe it's to be a friend. Whatever it is, we all have something significant to contribute to humanity. And that is what makes us unique. What I recognize is that if you can learn how to bring your fingerprint, I call it, or your uniqueness into what you actually do, That's a game changer right there, because then you would do it day and night, overtime, all of that without the exhaustion point. Yes, you do have to get some rest because we're human and we got to rest our bodies. But what I'm saying is, when you tap into that thing that you love to do, you do it and you keep doing it, and you love waking up to it, and you love thinking about it, and you love doing it. So it's such a passion. And so, my point is, I know I didn't mean to go all the way over there, but my point is, um, there are some times in our lives that we have something stirring in our heart. We have, I call it a whisper of the heart. And I had a whisper of my heart way back. I mean, I can't even like literally tell you the beginning of it. But I talked it out, and I actually spoke it out somewhere around 2016 ish. And that's when I was saying, okay, I'm going to retire. Now, that was like 8 years ago. So I actually did it 8 years later. So that means that that dream, or that thought, or that vision, or that yearning to do something different, was with me way back then. So fast forward to today, after I retired, I was like, oh, cool. I'm going to get to work on all of my books that I'm writing. I'm going to get to work on all of my programs that I'm writing. I'm going to get to do all of the things that I have been wanting to do for such a long time, but I did not have the time to do it. But check this out. I was not able to do that. And I know it wasn't about like trying to get moving from one grind to the next grind necessarily. It was about, okay, these things I've been really wanting to do. But what I recognized, and I will try to paint you a picture of what I'm trying to say, it was almost like I had a rope around my waist, and my past was pulling me back. Every time I tried to go forward and write something on a chapter, it would pull me back. And so I felt this really weird, you know, tug of war thing going on. I'm talking about like freshly out of retirement. So, of course, what I did, I decided to go out in nature and walk and, just really be in the elements. And it just does something for me. And then what I recognize is that when you are misaligned for such a long period of time, there's some soul manifestations or some soul pain that is occurring, um, that I didn't notice while I was in the grind. But see, once you allow yourself to pause and not just be busy doing, and always meeting this target and throwing this initiative together. I mean, you know how it is, especially as a nurse leader. You're constantly like on the move. Don't even have time to eat lunch half of the time. But what I recognize is that over the years, once that whisper started talking to me, and I ignored it because I was too busy, I had picked up soul pain. And the best way I can explain it is like this. I'm kind of a visual person, so I'll try to explain, because I want you to see what I'm saying. So, if you can picture with me a heart with a little tiny little hole at the bottom of it, and little drops of blood just trickling out of it. And to me, I'm relating that to, my soul. You know, I had to question, like, what is going on, Charlene? You love nursing, you love people, you love all of that. So why are you a little dissatisfied? Why are you a little frustrated? Why are you feeling a little, a lot of unrest? But you know what? I recognize that when you're misaligned, your spirit is going to keep talking to you and talking to you. And yes, it's going to be uncomfortable, because that's why it was unrest, because my whisper, the whisper, I call it God, was trying to tell me, I'm ready for you to shift into a different mode. I'm ready for you to shift. I'm ready for you to learn something new. I'm ready for you to finally jump out and do those things in your heart to do, to touch those people that you want to touch on a broader scale. And it was just an amazing thing. So, right after retirement, I paused. I paused literally for the whole month. And I know you're probably like, why didn't you go travel? I got travel like totally all planned in, but I will be doing that as well. But I literally just paused. And can I tell you something? Pausing was like really a difficult thing to do. Now, you have to recognize that my whole career, because I'm a go getter, I am one who achieves. I like to make things happen. I like to be out there. And the job role that I had was so busy that you were constantly busy, literally all the time. And so there was a tendency to create habits of busyness. And so what I recognized on this pause is that Charlene was trying to figure out ways to be busy. Okay, I don't know if you guys understand what I'm talking about. She was trying to figure out ways to be busy. I made a decision and an intention. Pause. You will not do anything unless you want to just sit and reflect, go out in nature, go work out, go enjoy all of the other stuff in life. And I want you to not get in that mindset of grinding again because you're pausing. See, I had set an intention to pause, but here my body is trying to be busy, trying to find something to do to keep it busy because it was so used to being busy. Okay, I hope I explained that well because when you finally pause, you have to really contend with yourself because that's why we are spirit, soul, and body. And there was a war going on in my soul because my soul wanted to keep being busy. It didn't want to pause. But I made it pause, and then I began to peel away all of those layers that did not serve me, that does not serve me in this new season away from me. And after I went through that whole, I allowed myself to sit in it. It was the most amazing thing. I've taken so many notes and so many insights within it. It was really amazing. And I know that I intentionally had to make sure that I allowed myself to be in that space so that every part of my soul that was leaking or dripping, I was able to bring that healing forth and plug that leak up and re energize and begin to start on this new journey. So that has been my journey post retirement. It is the most amazing thing. You know, before my last day of work, I just had this vision of having some golden handcuffs and then like releasing those golden handcuffs, and those that releasing of those golden handcuffs meant that I am finally am not going to be bound by the salary, which was a phenomenal salary, and I'm going to break free of that which contains me so that I can fly like an eagle and soar to new heights. And so it was amazing. I have little footage. I'm gonna just play it really quick and you'll see it. But it was just the most amazing feeling. So that freedom, however, I didn't really get that freedom of where I felt like, okay, Charlene, it is on now. Let's go ahead and expand. Let's go ahead and get out of the swimming pool, jump into the ocean, and now let's allow that ocean to pour back into the pool. So I am so excited about what's to come. I did establish a business, which I had in my heart to do for quite some time. And so I will be launching that really, really soon. And it really has to do with those things that I absolutely love to do. And that is caring for the caregiver. I love inspiring, I love bringing forth transformation into our healthcare workers because they are the ones that will be taking care of us when we need them. And so I want to do my part in helping people to feel seen and heard and value and awesome and phenomenal and beautiful and powerful and all of that and then some while they're taking care of patients. They are going to take care of themselves because they matter and that they have so much to contribute to humanity. So I'm excited for the journey. I am going to be, you're going to notice some different things um, with my podcast. I'm actually going to be launching a second podcast called Whispers of Wellness. And so I hope some of you guys will come on. I'd love to unpack because I'm going after the well being of our employees and really of humanity. Because if you work with people, you need to make sure that you build up the skills that can make sure you remain your brand in the midst of everything. I think I had told you guys sometime before. I love Dr. Miles Monroe. He said that character is similar to a statue, and a statue, it does not, I mean, rain, sleet, snow, tornado, it still stays the same. So your brand needs to stay the same in the midst of every challenge that you go through in your life. And so that's what I made a point as I led, as I teach, as I live. I represent a brand of love, a brand of peace, a brand of light, a brand of grace. And so that's what I want to represent because your brand is not necessarily what you say you are. Your brand is what other people say about you when you leave the room. So you want to make an impact on all of those that you are attached to. So, anyway, that was some impromptu thoughts. Thank you for listening to When the Moment Chooses You. If you would like to be a guest on my podcast, please drop me a DM so that you can share your story. I love sharing stories. I love talking, allowing space for people to get their voice in the room because many times we don't allow our voice to be heard. I know that personally because I didn't find my voice until 2020, and then I began to start speaking and to speaking up. I should say that. And so, thank you for listening, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm building my YouTube channel, so you'll notice that there's some activity going on there. So I'm not as active there, but definitely leave me a review, leave me a comment, on Apple or Spotify, and I look forward to possibly having you on the show. Thank you for listening. Have a great day. I want to thank you for tuning in to another inspiring episode of When the Moment Chooses You. I'm your host, Coach Charlene, and it's been an absolute pleasure. Each journey we've shared today is a reminder that when the moment chooses you, the possibilities are endless.